or no? Okay. And second here, I need to make sure I'm operating off the right document. Okay. All right, then, let us go ahead, commissioners. I'm sure you've had a chance to review the minutes that was provided. I will go ahead and entertain a motion to approve. Well, first of all, let's adopt the agenda for today. Is there a motion?
So move.
All right, second.
Yep.
All right, then it's properly moved in second. I'm going to go with unanimous consent today. If there are no objections, then we'll consider the agenda adopted. Any objections? Hearing and seeing none, the agenda is adopted. Okay, and now we'll go into the approval of the minutes of our September the 9th meeting. Is there a motion to approve said minutes?
Yeah, I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
Second. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Okay. All right, properly moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of our September the 9th meeting. Question to the motion, question to the motion. The motion is properly before us. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, are there any objections? Okay, hearing and seeing none and not noting any corrections, then the minutes of the September the 9th meeting is accepted. Okay, we'll move on in the agenda and I will turn it over to Marcus for the executive director's report.
Thank you. Good morning, all. Good morning, Mr. Fritz. I'm going to share, if I can find the button. Here we go. Share my screen here. So we'll start first with the mediation report, which on paper, the only change from the last month's report is the addition of 2 cases into the mediation system. So those are referrals. So we had 4 year-to-date last time. We had 2 additional from last report. So 6 cases in the process. There were no dispositions reported. So no either successful mediations or unsuccessful mediations resulting in return to investigation. I do know that there's activity going on, and I anticipate that there will be reported dispositions in the next report. It's just a matter of, I think, finalizing the paperwork for some of these. So not too much here. I don't know if there's any comment or question, but again, the 2 additional referrals, everything else remains the same. We have 2 settlements up to this date and 1 non-settlement, so 2 out of 3. And 1 settlement was with the Mediation Center of the Pacific, 1 was internally with the Hawaii Civil Rights Commission mediator. Right, so I will have more to report next time, but that's a report for this meeting. Unless I see any responses, I'm going to move on.
I don't see any questions.
Okay, great. Caseload report. So these are statistics as of end of date yesterday, October 13. And we have, as of yesterday, 398 open cases in our caseload. So let me highlight some of these numbers here. 398. That's 4 fewer than at last report. And I think the thing that I want to highlight, and this ties an agenda item, which is response to some of the concerns from the public, including those raised in the Civil Beat article that we discussed last time. So part of the concern, which is a concern for us, as well as the public, is the age of some of our cases in our caseload. So I do want to highlight that from last time, we did dispose of 3 cases that were filed in 2019. So those are down to 6. That's a good result, I think. We do still have some of the older cases here that we are actively working on and hoping to get a disposition on in the coming months. But 3 in the span of 1 month essentially is actually pretty good from 2019. And just overall our caseload declining a little bit, from 402 last time to 398. Hopefully that's a trend that will continue as well. And if I go further down to the case aging, we're really talking about a difference of a 1/10 of a percentage point in some of these categories. So the oldest category, last time it was 37.6% were 2 years or older, and this time it's 37.7%. I do anticipate that number will be shrinking. We are really devoting our time and our resources to tackling particularly those older cases, all the cases in our caseload, but particularly those oldest ones. So I do anticipate we're going to see, more dispositions than we have in the recent past. So these numbers are again very, very close. And so I would say, so far so good. We're just gonna keep going with those. And going further down to the breakdown by type of case, not too much change in the course of a month. The one thing that I would point out is when you look at these categories, we want to see as many cases as is feasible in the active investigation part here. So tying into what I said earlier, cases that go through the intake process are filed, and then we get a response. Once we get that response, that's a proper and complete response, we would move the case from response monitoring to pending. And so that's just a little cabinet where we keep cases that are there until an investigator can pick up the case and actively work on it. So the thing that I would want to report is that we have reduced to 0 the cases from 2018 and 2019 that were in the pending file. Now they are, either disposed of, as I mentioned earlier, or actively being investigated. And so you can't really tell, but there, some of these numbers are lower as well. So we're making a concerted effort, and I hope we can, report the results as we go forward for the rest of the year and in the coming months. Okay. And so the other thing I want to point out, the fiscal year comparison, as I've said before, once our annual report to the public comes out, then we will be adding a whole column of new data reported from the previous fiscal year. So we're going to have it right on the right here, and we'll make some comparisons at that point. It looks like we're going to have the annual report out sometime next month, is my understanding. So it may or may not be in time for our next meeting. But as soon as we have those statistics, we'll add them and we'll report on them. And I think lastly here, we have our year-to-date statistics. So from the beginning of fiscal year, July 1st to yesterday's date. As I've been reporting, the thing that really jumps out is the numbers of pre-complaint questionnaires received. I've said over and over, we've had a decline. We had a decline in the pandemic, a drastic decline in the number of pre-complaint questionnaires received during the pandemic, but coming out, we've really increased, and then we're at the point we're at 218 year to date, which is much higher than last year and much higher than say 2021, 2022. And so when we have more pre-complaint questionnaires, we do the intake. So we've made more intake decisions. We've also resulted in a higher number of complaints filed in comparison to previous years. And we also did get a good number of investigation closures from the past report. So that's a pretty good balance, I would say. We need to file the complaints as they come in, as the pre-complaint questionnaires come in, but we also need to devote resources to investigation and disposition. So I can see that, that is being done through the numbers here. That's the report I have, and I'm happy to field any questions or comments people might have.
Yes, sir. So if you could just scroll back up to your previous slide. Yes, on
Right
that
here?
one, if you go to
Yes.
just go up to the top there.
Oh, top, yeah.
So when you add the new
Oh, sorry.
year,
Yes.
will 2015 drop off,
Uh,
or will
just
it be in
yeah,
addition to 2015?
just for the sake of space. I mean, we would typically drop that off. Yes.
Okay, so we're literally looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're literally looking at reporting out on a regular basis 10 years.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what I just wanted to be clear on. I see Mr. Fritz has a question. Mr. Fritz, how may we assist you today?
Oh, I think I'm beyond assistance. Um, However, I have a few of those cases in your unresolved cases, and they relate to Americans with Disabilities Act and agencies that did not publish an agenda in an accessible format. As time has transpired, the state of Hawaii has adopted a standardized PDF type of software, which has the ability also to make accessible format. So it is no longer the problem that it used to be. So the question, or where I'm going in a way, is if you ask me if I want to pursue the cases at this point, my answer is no, but I'm not sure where they were. I did speak to an investigator on one of them. But in terms of proceeding with the HCRC, I don't think so. And as far as ADA goes, when I'm back to the point where I can bring cases, I can tell you that I wouldn't bring a case in state court for ADA problems. I would just go to federal court because it will be resolved faster, and it is a remedy that I did. So in terms of the reporting of all your cases, the question is, has anybody really gone through some of these back cases and asked if the person still wants to pursue it? They may not be employed where they were employed before. You can aid them for having been filed, but at some point people are going to say too much time has passed. And I don't know how that's being addressed by the HCRC, and I'm going to get off my soapbox. But that's a background information that I wanted to put in and add to the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fritz. And so, two things for all listeners involved. One is I will let the executive director affirm this, that it is a reasonable presumption that part of the review and analysis that takes place is to see how we may dispose of cases in a legal and judicious manner. And in some cases, that means that where there is no longer a matter that needs to be resolved, that particular case may be closed appropriately. So we appreciate that reminder. And again, I'll let the executive director affirm that we do have some protocols in place to address specifically what you're saying, and then we'll go to Ray.
I would agree. I would also say that we always welcome feedback and can improve constantly. So if one of the things that we need to do is look at our communication with parties, particularly in these older cases, to make sure that they are still available and interested in pursuing their claims, then that's something that we certainly would like to do. So Mr. Fritz, appreciate that comment, and perhaps we can communicate one-on-one at some point after this meeting. So thank you.
Thank you very much again, Mr. Fritz. Okay, Ray, you had a question?
Yes, I was curious about. So I know that that
HCRC has a presence on Richardson. I mean, I met Heather there once upon a time, and I know the Public Interest Fair is coming up, and you always have a presence there. So my question is a two-parter. Is for the externs that you bring in from Richardson, does that have a accelerating impact on your systems? And if so, what challenges are you facing in getting more externs in to kind of help you guys out?
Well, we welcome externs, volunteers, anyone who expresses an interest in the work that we do and the mission that we pursue. We would welcome at least to communicate with them and see what their interest is. So with formal externs, yes, they do have an impact on the work. We do try to provide them with work that's instructive to them, but also helpful to us as an agency. And so I'm not sure you could see a direct correlation between, the use of externs and, say, the case processing time of our cases. But the externs do a variety of things, including legal research. They may do more sort of, looking through files and organizing things. But we do try to do things that are helpful to us, again, as an agency. So the challenges we're facing, we've had very good interns and externs and volunteers, particularly over the past few years. So I can't say that we have had challenges. We've had people come to us from places that we had not expected. So I'm not sure that we need to do more, but we would certainly like to see the same number and degree of and quality of externs join us going forward. So Commissioner Nichols, I guess, do you have any particular thoughts or suggestions on that?
No, that's just what I was curious about. So thank you.
Okay, terrific.
Outstanding. I don't see any other hands, so we will move on the agenda. Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, so council is out, and so the information for her report, Marcus, are you going to cover or?
Yes, I am going
Okay.
to cover. And so Chief Counsel Yonashiro did give me a brief update on the cases that are listed here. So these are all, first off, update on docketed cases. We have a case that involves Chanel Diedrichs versus Elite Builders. This has a contested case hearing set for January 27, 2026. We also have a case, Frank Resurrection versus Case Drive-In, contested case hearing set for February 4th, 2026. And lastly, we have a case involving Brandy Payne and Gregory Payne versus Perry G. Wagner. This is the case that you folks considered last time. And so an extension was granted and the contested case hearing was rescheduled from this year until May 21st, 2026. That does not necessarily mean that the case will be heard on that date, but that's what the extension, there's an extension granted, and that was sort of a date in the future that was potentially set. And there's a lot that can happen between the docketing of a case to the actual hearing. Various motions. It is possible that the case could take some twists and turns and not actually result in a hearing. But that is what's set so far. Chief Counsel Yonashiro didn't think that there was anything else that, in terms of information that needed to be provided right now. So if there are questions, I can try to field them or maybe address them next time.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions that anyone has? Okay, I don't see or hear any. Okay, and so we'll move on into our general discussions. And so with that, for those who are familiar with how we've been trying to do business now, I wanted to kind of do a little advocacy here and a little proactiveness with respect to how we operate. And so one of the things that came up recently in the media was regarding boards going behind closed door or in executive session to take actions on personnel matters. So I think that everyone has seen that article from Silverbeat. And so what I wanted to do is make sure that we, in all transparency, addressed it as the commissioners meeting. And so I'll yield right now to the executive director and for his comments. And probably what I would like to see as an order of business is as kind of, are there concerns or impacts for the Hawaii Civil Rights Commission? And rather than you kind of give me a kind of the broad, short answer, what I'd like to do is I'd like to move this to an agenda item for our next meeting so we can assure everyone that we've had a chance to look into it to see which hirings are impacted and if any and all where we may make sure that we are following the rule of law and being compliant. Okay, is there any concerns from any of the commissioners with respect to that course of action? I don't see any hands raised or questions.
No, I've raised
And-
my hands.
Okay, yes, Mr. Fritz, I'm acknowledging, I was asking
Okay.
the question to the commissioners first. And
Well,
then
I
I'll
just
go
finished
to
with
say,
the thing with HCRC, with the OIP regarding certain types of testimony, and I've been fairly active in that. I've also known about Brian and Ben's at Public First's position on it. And I think that if you're going to move it to the next commission's meeting, you at least might want to ask Ben or Ben Krebs or Brian if they want to at least talk to the commission and lay a little bit of a foundation regarding that. Being familiar with the pleadings and the other things that were filed in it, I'm not sure that it's going to be that much of a major issue since it involved the executive decision, and OIP did also recently issue or backed off on an opinion, but Brian and Ben can tell you about that. It's just a bit of preparation, I thought, having some familiarity that I might mention it as what's going on. I don't know if that helps, but I thought I would at least bring it up.
thank you very much, Mr. Fritz. And I know that you are quite familiar with this, and I'm always taking the approach that there may be, today there isn't. It's all staff and commissioners here. However, my interest is always if there was someone from the public or the public may see the minutes or what we've done and how we've done business, I would like for us to have gone through, kind of taken a look at things, and that way we can appropriately report out. And I would say that to the executive director, definitely part of that just check down or drill down would be making sure that we take a look, we utilize any and all resources that we would need to confer with. Yes, Mr. Fritz.
I want to make sure I hadn't muted myself. I'm very good at doing that.
You're good.
The other comment I might make is you might want to touch base with Jennifer Brooks at OIP. I mention her in particular because I think that she might be able to provide you with some sort of background that you might not be able to get otherwise from some of the other members regarding that and some of the resources that might be useful to the commission at that particular time. Jennifer is very knowledgeable, probably one of the more knowledgeable people at the Office of Information Practices. And I'm only mentioning this because I've been through a number of these issues with other agencies on what they can do and what they can't do. And so it might help you to focus any discussion at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. Again, it takes the team, and so we're not above support and advice. That's why we open this up. Okay. Executive Director, I'll yield to you, sir.
Well, I'm in agreement with the course of action here. I'm also in agreement with Mr. Fritz in that if there are people who can provide some background or helpful information, that we reach out to them. So as far as an agenda item, I think you're saying, Chair, that we research the issue and report back as staff next time. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, are there any other issues, concerns, updates that we would have for the commissioners? If not, we will go into our announcements. And generally, we have this specific Tuesday, which is the second Tuesday, to meet as we look at the calendar for November. Those brave warriors who defend freedom and democracy in high seas and foxholes and other places. This is a Veterans Day. November the 11th, I believe, is when we would be scheduled. We will be off that day. The state will be. So I will look tentatively at November the 18th, commissioners. And then we will solidify that prior to the meeting date, and we will get out due and timely notice posting. Right now, tentatively, we'll look at November the 18th and see if that will work. If not, we will determine a date in November that will work for us all. Okay, and then the other announcement is this Sunday. And so we have the Pride Parade at the park coming up. And I know that there's a trolley and such. So I'm going to yield again to the executive director to go ahead and brief the event.
Sure. And I think our deputy can jump in if I miss anything. Just to clarify, it's Saturday that we have
Saturday, I'm
our
sorry.
Pride, both the Pride Parade and Pride Festival. The parade itself will start at Magic Island and in the parking lot there. And we will have a trolley, and it'll take us through Waikiki and to the other side at Kapiolani Park where the shell is. There's going to be the Pride Festival. So if anyone amongst this group would like to attend, hopefully you received invitations. Please feel free. You'll have a spot on the trolley unless you do want to walk. So as an organization, we're always proud to participate in this parade and to make our presence known, provide informational materials to the public along the parade route. And this time around, we are actually going to have a table at the festival. And so again, providing informational materials to the public. I think if there are people who actually want to engage with us about potential cases, we can give them specific information and things to follow up on there. But it would be hopefully a joyous occasion, and we'll really be able to celebrate our mission of inclusivity and just put ourselves out there in the public. So whoever can join us will definitely welcome you. Did I miss anything, Heather?
No, that sounds great. And if anyone has not already been contacted, let us know now and we'll send you an email with more details. But we'd love to see you there and just to show up for the community. We will be wearing our HCRC t-shirts, so if you have one, feel free to wear it, but no need If not, wear something joyful, I guess. And I do believe the trolley is accessible, so that's good. And if anyone has any, needs any unique support, let us know about that as well.
Yes.
Outstanding. And unfortunately, I will have our National Board of Directors meeting, another Board of Directors meeting during that time, so I will not be able to participate. But thank you all for representing and continuing to be a resource, a vital resource in the community. And if we could, I would take a personal point of privilege and just ask us to keep in mind the situations that are going on in our nation right now, where we have people on the verge of stressing about rights and issues, particularly those individuals impacted by the government shutdown, our military personnel, federal workers and all. So empathy is all right for us to add to the agenda of the day, and where we can help people get information on resources, that's a part of keeping our community whole. At the end of the day, where there is no support, there cannot be efforts towards justice. So I yield, John.
Yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it on Saturday either. I'm involved in the Hawaii International Film Festival, and it's we have a film that's premiering at the same time. But I do want to acknowledge that Alfonso received an award over the weekend. He gave a very eloquent and profound talk, and he received an award from the Sunrise Foundation for his work in peacemaking. And so some of you may not have known that, but congratulations, Alfonso.
Yeah,
Thank you very, very
congratulations.
much.
And I'm sure our old friend and former Commissioner Wally Fukunaga was part of that, correct? Yes.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Small circle. All right. Anything else from any other commissioner or the public or staff? If not, folks, we're going to go ahead and return you your time to you. I really appreciate your support today and making this happen. And I will make sure that we get out in a timely manner our date for meeting in November. Continue to stay safe and be well. Aloha, everyone. I move that our motion to adjourn is in order. All right. Any objections? I hear and I see none. All right. We stand adjourned at 12:03.
Thank you.
Good day.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Have a good one, everybody.